Well, blade lovers, we've got a whole new animal on the block today. Relatively new in design from Bastinelli Creations. That's Bastion Cove of Bastinelli, and he is known for tactical art. I've shown a number of other Bastinelli creations of all different sizes and shapes, and this is yet a new size and shape, or shall we say a new shape. And this is known as the Gambler. Comes in this very nice case I didn't expect, with the Bastinelli knives BK embroidered into it. Inside, we've got a pretty good sized case. You could put some other stuff in. And there's his logo. Human bullshit voids a warranty. Okay, I'll go along with that. And there's a sticker, kind of a cool sticker. He does nice art. And there's his card, and really doesn't say anything about this particular knife. However, let's take a look at it. It is fashioned after yet another variety of Gambler's push dagger, although not a push dagger in the way that we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing push daggers that have a handle somewhat like that. Now, there was this creation from TCAL Knives in collaboration with Steve Tirani, where he attempted to do a push dagger that didn't have a handle like a push dagger and had sort of a pistol grip. I've got to say, what Bastion Cove did here is incredibly ergonomic. It may look weird to you. It is a chisel grind, by the way, and it is from VG10. So this was a special out of his shop. It looks like, if you're looking for where it was made, this is very highly unusual. It has some longitude and latitude marks there. And when I looked it up, it was, yes, in Hunan, China. So rather than saying it was made in China, he's got the coordinates there for you, so you can play geographer and cartographer and look it up. Getting back to the knife, they're going for about $125, which is far less than you'd expect to pay for a Bastinelli, but a Bastinelli made in China is going to be less, and this is relatively new for him. I know that many of his knives, if they're not made in the U.S., are made in Italy, usually by Fox or Lion Steel. Got some black on black going on here, so I'm going to do my best to show you the detail of this. There's your heavy chisel grind there, and there is your flat on that side, which has a slight grind as well to line up the edge. Make no bones about it, this is a last-ditch defensive knife. It is not an EDC knife. It's not going to carve your steaks. It is reasonably sharp if you're holding it in the right hand, because it has a right hand grind to it. So like a kiridashi with a chisel grind on it, a Japanese working knife, you've got, let me back out a little bit here. There we go. Because I'm not going to hold focus if I zoom in too far with this particular camera. So we've got a long, pointy blade with a fair amount of shank area in here. It is well jimped, as we see with most Bastinelli knives. That would mean that you can hold it like that in a Pical grip with the edge out, however. You can hold it just like a pistol this way. Very effective. And if you wish, you can hold it just like that, like a push dagger. And you know what? Feels comfortable, melts right into the hand. This was a great ergonomic success in designing this as just what it is designed to do. I'm going to get into the sheath in a minute, which is actually pretty good as Bastinelli knives go, because they tend to be a little skimpy on their sheaths. And for the heck of it, just so you get some idea, it is 6.5 inches from the point to the middle of the handle, and to the beginning of the G10 handle, it's 4 inches. Cutting edge is like 3.25 if you want to call it a cutting edge. But yeah, I mean, you can feel that this will pop hairs off your arm. It's just not terrifically bitey, but it will certainly poke holes and rip afterwards. If you're curious, the edge will cut. It really depends upon how you angle it, okay? It's pretty steep as edges go. And let me put that away before I poke myself with it. Other dimensions, the thickness is pretty stout. In inches, it is 0.18. So with the narrowness of the blade, yeah, 4.7 millimeters. So he isn't scrimping here on thickness by any means. Let's see if we can get a weight on it. Although, let's see, if you really must know, the handle thickness is almost 0.6, 0.59. Blade alone, that is the knife alone, in actual ounces, is 295, under 3 ounces. So there ain't much to it. Looking at the sheath again, comes with an ulti-clip. Ulti-clips can definitely put a death grip on whatever fabric or belt you clamp them on, so it's going to hold on for good. No rattle, no wiggle here. Very nice. And comes right out when you want it. I would say just the right amount of tension. He did a cool thing here, like he does on some of his small knife sheaths, with the red on one side, and it's flat, just a sheet, and it's only molded on this side because you've only got a grind on that side. Plenty of grommets if you want to move things around. You can neck hang this very easily. We've got the red washers here on one side. Basically your usual Chicago screw setup for sheaths. Nice grippy cross-hatched G10. Kind of like you might see on a handgun handle. Again, you can thumb it off very easily, or you can simply grab it. No matter how you decide to grab it, you're going to get it out of there, and you're going to get it out of there in a hurry. So I think all of that is rather cool. There's Bastinelli's logo with the claw mark and tiny little Bastinelli words, VG10. The VG10 for this kind of a knife's not bad. I mean, Spyderco has used in the past lots of VG10 in their fixed blades, and I think perhaps a few of their folders. So really not a bad way to go. No, it's not M390. No, it's not LMAX, etc. It's not S90V. That would have bumped the price up a lot. And most of Bastinelli's knives are going for at least $300 to $400, I would say, on an average. So with this being just a little over a C note, not bad. And again, feels quite comfortable. Here's for comparison the guilty, part of the innocent and guilty push dagger setup. This one's out of Magna Cut, and this is a Bastinelli, and this has got rich light handle, plenty of rich materials in this one. And this one is made by Tactile in the US, which I think is a new venture for Bastinelli to go with them. As you can see, it's a much smaller blade. And here's something interesting. This is something I got off of Amazon. It's a knockoff, okay? So you know it's not a real Bastinelli, but it is based on one of Bastinelli's earlier designs. I had to look up the name. It's a Canku, C-A-N-K-U. They do a lot of direct copies of Bastinelli and a lot of other makers, but they seem to have done a lot of copies in the small knife category. But the reason I have this out is not that I bought it thinking it was going to be a Bastinelli. A lot of people like it. I did a review on it. We have a very similar blade shape. So Bastinelli has experimented with this particular blade shape before. This is longer and narrower. However, this one is ground on both sides. And I don't know if the original was ground on both sides or not. But a lot of people seem to like this as a last-ditch cheap knife. And here it is up against the Triangle. I believe that's the name of this knife. It's a beautifully made knife by Tim Kell, as are all of his blades, but much heavier duty, even though the blade stock's roughly about the same. It's a much heavier knife. It just, for me, is very awkward to hold, and I think a lot of people are agreeing with that. Steve Tirani's got some interesting ideas about what constitutes a defensive knife. He's got a huge amount of background and training, and he does a lot of training with some elite units, so certainly knows what he's doing. It's just that some of the designs I found are a little awkward for the rest of us. This one, however, is just superb. Should you have $125 you want to throw into a backup blade, man, it doesn't look like it would, but it just holds like a pistol, and your thumb lays right on top. You got jimping, and you got jimping. So your thumb will fit right in there perfectly. Nice and secure. I mean, I don't know how this is going to, unless your hand gets shocked or hit, I don't know how you're going to drop this. And, if you do it this way, you're even more secure. But again, it's a poker. It is a poker and a little bit of a cutter. Sharp enough to pull through, to do some slash work, should you want to do that. So there you go, nicely presented and nicely designed and made. That's the Gambler by Bastinelli Knives, Bastinelli Creations. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. I'll be back soon.